Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion. Guys, we are talking My Adventures with Superman, episode 6, titled My Adventures with Mad Science. When Jimmy gets kidnapped, it's up to Lois and Clark to save him. But rescuing Jimmy will lead them into danger as they deal with mad scientists, military secrets, and relationship woes. Guys, I want to let you know that this is going to be spoiler filled. I'm going to spoil this up, down, left, right, in, and out. As if you've already seen it, that is your warning. And please subscribe to the channel if this is your first time here. Help me reach that 50K subs. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get straight to the point. This recap, this review, this reaction, or whatever you want to call it is late. And one reason being is when I saw it for the first time, I just really wasn't that enthused about it. I don't want to say that it was horrible, but it wasn't the greatest. This was possibly my least favorite out of the whole season so far. There was some things that made me happy towards the end, where we're looking forward to the future, because I believe this first season, at first I thought it was just going to be 7 episodes, but I looked at an email and I think it's going to be 10. And when I looked at the description of each of them, I was like, oh man, it's going down and I can't wait till we get to there. But the end of this episode is really what got me excited, when we got the silhouette of the government agency that was teaming up with Katniss. We got all those silhouettes of the general, also Amanda Waller, and I don't know what the other figure was that had the purple or whatever slash on his eye. I have no idea who that is. Please, you guys, let me know in the comment section. But the episode starts off with Lois and Superman and Lois, Clark Kent. She's butthurt trying to avoid Clark, trying to avoid Superman, and apparently Jimmy went off on their camping trip and he is gone. He has disappeared, but they're teaming up and wanting to go hunt him down. I do like an adventure, so that aspect was cool right there, but I gotta say, Lois was still extremely annoying to me in this episode. It was the worst. I'm really getting bugged out because she is just so adamant to know all of Clark's business. Like, it is none of your business. He doesn't have to tell you anything. And she just mad like, did you lie? I mean, the only valid question she had was, since you was hiding your identity, did you also make up the feelings that you had for me as well? I don't understand how she came to that conclusion, but if you just wanted to look at it in a general sense, that does kind of make sense to me. But at the same time, you cannot get mad at Clark because he does not want to spill all the beans. Now, if you want to know everything because you don't want to put your life in danger, that's another thing. But I don't think that's her mindset. That's mine, because it's like, hey, if you're Superman and people are after you and all that, it puts my life in danger. Well, Lois, you're grown. Okay, you're a grown-ass woman. You can decide to exit stage left and not have to do anything with Superman, Clark, or anything like that. But you're still wanting to be around him, and I'm just not really feeling that right there. And so Lois just continues to get on my nerves. But as they're going on this expedition looking for Jimmy, they do find his phone. They find cuts out in the gate, the electrical fence, or whatever it is. And as soon as Superman Clark Kent goes in, his powers start to drain. I also want to talk about, he was like, wait a minute, I scanned this whole entire area for a minute and I missed this. What happened? And we see that it was covered with some protective dome, kind of like a red sun, and that was draining his powers. So I do like that right there. The reason why I like it is it does present Superman with a challenge. We know that he's super strong and vulnerable and he can do pretty much he wants to, especially when he is tapped into all of his powers. But now we get to see a vulnerable Superman where his powers is drained, and like I said, that does present a challenge. Now, jumping back to Jimmy, I did kind of laugh at his character a little bit. He was a mix for me in this episode. Sometimes I liked him, sometimes I didn't, but I was laughing. He was like, fine, go ahead and look at my brain and get all the secrets. At least somebody's gonna know what's on my mind besides my friend that abandoned me. And so, you know, he is in his feelings. But we have these new 2 characters right here called Brain and Mala, and I've never heard of them before. When we got the sneak peek last episode for this episode, I just automatically assumed that was Gorilla Grodd, but of course, or maybe you guys can help me out in the comment section. Maybe that's the same person. I don't think it is, but I do like the backstory that we got with Katniss and Task Force X. That was quite fascinating. I do like backstories, and you know, it just adds on to the lore of this show and just kind of expands it for things that we can see in the near future, whether it's this season or last season. It is also interesting that they were so adamant of drilling his brain open or retrieving information or killing him or dissecting him or doing whatever, but he made a few lines of dialogue, and I'm talking about Jimmy, and Brain was like, oh no, you're not our prisoner anymore, you're our guest. Let me just show you the whole facility. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before after somebody got captured, but that was quite interesting to me as well. But we also find out that Jimmy knew that Superman has been Superman this whole time. And that's quite interesting. I remember when I was recapping the first 3 episodes with Lamont with Get a Life Gains, I was saying, wait a minute, the first episode, Superman was like a little boy and he was tapped into his powers, but now he's a grown man, but he's still ripping off handles on doors and doors off hinges and things of that nature. Jimmy brought that up saying, bro, you tried to blame it on the screws, but you broke the signal in half. But at the same time, I was annoyed because Lois is getting mad. Like, wait a minute, you didn't tell him and he found out before me and I'm like, oh God, just stop all of this. It's just like really annoying. Now, please don't put in the comment section like, Brandon, if you don't like the show, why are you doing a recap or review? And I like to be consistent and I have liked all of the episodes. It's just this one right here just was not my favorite. It's also nice to see that Superman had to fight the robots from Task Force X, and I can't wait to find out how he is still tied into him, because towards the end, I can't remember if it was Mala or Brain saying, wait a minute, for some reason, these robots that have been here, they've been here for 22 years and they was dormant, but your involvement has activated them and we have not seen them before. Because when Lois, Jimmy, and Superman Clark Kent was going back and forth, he was listening to it on the intercom and was like, wait a minute, you saying that some robots are chasing you? Okay, if there are robots chasing you, it's not from us. And so we don't know what the hell that is. And so this is Task Force X, and they're just so adamant about taking Superman down. And the general said, burying him deep down below in the earth to where everybody forgets him, excuse me. I don't know why they are haters like this, but it's just crazy. Now, I did like the action scene where they brought all the other mutated creatures out and they was fighting all of the robots from Task Force X. They do pose a worthy threat for everyone involved. And so keep bringing that in right there. But again, there were just some things about this episode that really annoyed me, especially when it comes to Lois. And it just really wasn't that exciting. I mean, I did like Brain at the same time, but Brain was annoying. I did like Mala, but Mala was annoying sometimes too. It's just, I'm really 50-50 with this episode. Some things I like, some things I didn't like. And they open up a black hole and they go into it. We don't know what's going to be on the other end of there, but Superman was like, no, I can't go with you, okay? I know that we're kind of the same. We're different alien species, whatever you want to call it. They're not really aliens. Katniss just injected Mala with the serum that gave him super intelligence, and you know, the black hole blew up and that's what turned Brain into Brain. But so they're not necessarily aliens per se. If I'm incorrect, somebody let me know. But I am really eager to find out what's going to happen next. And so I am excited as far as that's concerned. But other than that, guys, it was just an okay episode to me. And so just want to be honest with you, and sorry if I don't sound that enthused, but I just got to give you my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in for my recap review reaction of My Adventures with Superman, episode 6, titled My Adventures with Mad Science. Whether you liked the episode, loved it, hated it, wherever you are, please let me know down in the comment section below. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.